Good evening, everyone. This is another edition of Virtual Story Time. And as usual, I'm your host, Dr. Dwayne Dice, and we're coming to you very live from I would call it our studio. It's the Jamaica Diaspora Education Task Force in collaboration with Morningside Primary and the Infant School over there in St. Elizabeth. And we're in collaboration, so we're putting on Story Time another week. Now we have a very interesting story to get into with all our boys and girls this week. It's called Roy the Rat and his 6 thinking hats. Interesting, it's very interesting. So before we get into the story, we have many special guests, and we also have a very special guest reader with us. And we're gonna take the time now to have them introduce themselves and have our guest reader introduce herself. And then we get straight into the reading. It's very interesting. So let's start off with Jadora Grant. She's gonna introduce herself, and then we'll work our way around with the introduction, and then we get into our story. Okay, Jadora, take us away.
Hi, my name is Jadora Grant. I am in Manningsville Primary School. I live in St. Andrew and I am in grade 4.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jadora. And I'm gonna ask Chesen White to introduce herself, our next special guest here.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chesen White. I live in the parish of Manchester. I attend the Zion Hill Primary School, and I am in grade 4.
Okay, thank you very much, Zion Hill, right there, Manchester, second love of my life. Thank you so much, Chesen. Let's go over to Ches and Shez. I don't know who wants to go first. Maybe Ches. Ches, you go first, and then Shez. Go ahead, sirs.
Hi, my name is Chazé Cooley. I attend Golden Spring Primary School in the parish of St. Andrew. Hi, my name is Chazé Cooley. I attend Golden Spring Primary School in the parish of St. Andrew.
Okay, thank you so much. And now we have our last one, but by no means least, Melverton Spencer, or Melverton Spence. Unmute yourself and introduce yourself, sir. Thank you.
Hello, I am Melverton Spence. I live in the parish of St. James. I attend Chetwood Memorial Primary School, and I am in grade 4.
And you're in grade 4, yeah, Chetwood. Okay, and you can hear the little twinkles back there, so you can know it's virtual story time. Okay, and so our wonderful boys and girls introduce themselves. Now we're gonna talk to our guest reader, Miss Julie Villeneuve, and she's going to introduce herself and tell us a little bit about the story. Not a whole lot, because we don't want to give away anything. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, boys and girls. Thank you, Dr. Dice, for having me this afternoon. As Dr. Dice said, my name is Judy Villeneuve. My parents are Jamaican, and I live here in New York City. I work for students here for the Department of Education. And today we're going to be reading a story called Roy the Rat and his 6 thinking hats. Roy is a very curious rat, and I'm looking forward to hearing all the comments and questions that you have about the story.
Okay, so now, thank you so much. What we're gonna do is to get into the story with these 6 thinking hats. We want to find out what are they and how are they beneficial to all of us to learn something from this. So, boys and girls, let us all listen keenly to the story. So we're gonna go straight to the story, okay? Sit back and relax and just enjoy the story.
Okay, Roy the Rat and his 6 thinking hats. The author and illustrator is Angeliki Voreopoulou. It's a fancy name. Okay, so Roy is a rat. Not an ordinary rat, but a clever one. He has 6 different thinking hats to help him solve all his problems. You see, life is dangerous where he lives because there is Blackie, the cat. Hi, I'm Roy the rat. I stand on a mat and I change my hat, just like that. One day, while he was wandering in the kitchen, he saw a box on the kitchen table. It was a beautiful, big red box. Roy's eyes sparkled with excitement. I want that box, he thought, and then he said, I'm Roy the rat. I stand on a mat, and I change my hat just like that. Roy put on his white hat and started thinking, what do I know about the box? Well, not much, so I need to collect information about it. I could ask Tina the canary or Fenya the fly. Blackie could know something about it because he is always around here, but I'd better not go near him. Unfortunately, neither Tina nor Fenya knew anything about the box. Tina was busy singing in her cage, and Fenya was busy flying in the garden when the box appeared in the kitchen. Roy wasn't discouraged and said, I'm Roy the rat. I stand on a mat, and I change my hat just like that. So he put on his red hat. I don't care what's in that box, but I want it, he said to himself. I love its color and everything that is inside it. I am not afraid. I will climb the table and I will open it. The box is mine, he shouted out loud. At that point, Blackie the cat appeared just round the corner. Roy didn't lose his temper and said, I'm Roy the rat. I stand on a mat and I change my hat just like that. Roy put on his black hat. Well, maybe I shouldn't try to open that box. It's risky, he thought. Blackie is coming and I don't want troubles with him. He might see me climbing the table. Maybe there is something dangerous inside the box, like a super high-tech mousetrap or a poisonous snake. So while Roy was having second thoughts, he said, I'm Roy the rat. I stand on a mat and I change my hat just like that. And he put on his yellow hat. Come on, Roy, think positive, he said to himself. Such a lovely box can't hide anything dangerous inside it. There is most probably a fresh cream cake with strawberries or a great selection of Swiss chocolates or even better, cheddar cheese. Feeling overly optimistic and full of positive energy, he said, I'm Roy the rat. I stand on a mat and I change my hat just like that. And he put on his blue hat. Now, let's get organized, he said to himself, and started thinking about the best ways to reach the big red box. Deep in his thoughts, he felt he needed some help, so he said, I'm Roy the rat. I stand on a mat and I change my hat just like that. At that moment, He put on his favorite green hat. Roy was happy and cheerful again because he was able to think out of the box, and lots of creative ideas flashed into his mind. He started writing down everything. It was a long list, and within a few minutes, he had made a plan on how to reach the red box. He waited for a while until Blackie was out of sight. Then he ran fast as he could and sneaked under the kitchen carpet. He crawled and crawled until he reached the leg of the table. He opened a hole to the carpet with his sharp teeth and he climbed up the table. His plan was perfect. He was over the moon when he opened the box. To his amazement, the contents of the box had nothing to do with his initial thoughts. Neither fresh cream cake with strawberries nor chocolates, neither a high-tech mousetrap nor a poisonous snake. It was simply a hat. Oh, Roy said, disappointed. I don't need an extra hat. I already have 6 of them, which help me think, and with a simple move, he climbed down the table. On the way back, Roy said, I'm Roy the rat. I stand on a mat and I change my hat just like that. And he put on his yellow hat again. Well, there was nothing interesting for me in that box, but at least I had a great time trying to open it. It was such fun. Oh, this yellow hat is brilliant. It always helps me look on the bright side of life, he said with a big smile. The end.
The end. Okay, boys and girls, that was something. Interesting story, is it? Now, what do you think about the story? Because I'm over here, I'm thinking, wow, you know, try on different hats, but what do you think about the story? I want to hear from you. So let's get some volunteers around the table here. Who would like to go first? What do you think about the story, just in general? All right, go ahead. Tristan, go ahead. Go ahead, you first.
It was amazing and interesting, really interesting.
What makes it interesting?
Because he was changing his hat and we weren't knowing what he was going to do. It was such a surprise.
It was such a surprise. Ches, you want to go ahead? It was such a surprise. Yeah, interesting, very interesting story.
So it was like a mini adventure.
A mini adventure. Wow, with this rat trying on different hats. Okay, what do you think? Shez, what do you think? Or yeah, Shez, what do you think?
Sir, it was exciting and fun.
Was exciting and fun. I want to get into what makes it exciting and fun, you know, because Tristan really pointed us in the right direction. She said it's interesting that he was going around trying on all these hats. Why was he trying on hats? What caused him to be trying on hats so much? Melverton, you want to go ahead? Go ahead. Let's hear your response. Why was the rat trying on so many hats?
To help him see the solution.
To help him find the solution. They actually had some problems there. He's trying to find the solution. Yes? Yeah. Why Tristan, why was he trying on so many hats?
Because he wanted to think how to open the box.
Ah, good job. So he's thinking how he can open the box. So he's trying on it. Jadora, what is your take from the story based on what you heard so far? So he's trying on these hats and he's trying to think how best he can open the box. What do you think?
I think it's really interesting
Okay. Why?
because he tried on all the hats and it gave him different expressions.
Ah, okay, good. So different expressions. Okay, so now we're at a point now in the story. You guys are really good understanding the story. So the rat is there. He tried on many hats. Okay, we're getting somewhere here. Tried on many hats, and it gets him to think in different ways, and his expressions change. His expression change. Do you think in our lives we try on quote unquote many hats in our own experiences? Do you think so? That we try on many hats? It might not be physical hats, but I want you guys to talk to this. All right, go ahead. Yes, how do we try on many hats in our own experience? How? How? Tristan, go ahead.
By thinking different stuff, like if you see something, you can think.
Okay. Yeah, so
Like
you
if you
see, uh-huh.
like if you see a scissors, you can say, I'm going to cut the box open.
Okay, okay. So yeah, maybe one of the hats would be to think about, okay, how best I can open this box with the scissors. Go ahead, Ches or Shez.
So I think yes, because sometimes like you have a class, like say you have homework, but like
Uh-huh.
it's language, science, and math mixer.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to put on your thinking cap for all of them.
Wow, that's a very good one. That's a very good one. Having, and I'm rephrasing what you're saying there, having many different subject areas that you're studying, it's like putting on the different hats because you have to put on one for language arts and reading, put on one to think about that. Then you put on one for math because it's a different approach for math. And then put on a different one for even social studies and science. It's totally different. You're thinking in different ways and reacting in different ways. Very good. Do you think our parents put on different hats too when they're thinking about us? And how? Melverton.
Yes, sir.
What's your take? Yes. Says you just put on your twin motion there. Melverton, give us your take on this. Do you ever see your parents putting on different hats, so to speak, when they're thinking?
No.
Yes, sir. When my mom is doing egg.
Okay, go on, Melverton. Why do you say no?
I have never seen my parents do it.
Oh, but do you see them trying to think through a problem in different ways?
Yes, sir.
Right, and explain how do they do it?
Get through it by stress.
Okay, by stress. Okay, because sometimes stress is like you have positive stress that they're saying, no, we have to do it this way. No, let us plan through it this way. And no, this one will not work. And they're over there thinking, oh my God, they're really stressed out. But they're actually, it's positive stress because we have to get this done. And they're pushing through it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, okay, so by doing so, it's really not a physical hack, but they're actually trying out different methods how to solve the problem. Right, Ches? Ches, you have something to say? Or Ches?
Sir, yes, sir. I think they have different hats. Cause like when my mom is having exams, or when my dad is working.
Yeah, just like that. So they have two different mindset right there. Okay, I want to ask our reader before we get a little bit further. Our reader to ask if you have any question or any observation from it, because you had the story long before us, and You ready to? So share with us, what do you think, or a question?
So the question that I have for the kids here tonight is, obviously the whole story was about him trying to figure out how to get into a box. But at one point, when he was talking through how he was going to do it, he said that he could do it because he could think outside the box. What did he mean?
Good one. Who would like to go first? What did he mean to say that he's thinking outside the box? Think. Shez, you want to go first? Or Ches? What does that mean?
Sir, he means to think outside of the box, to not to think deep.
Not to think too deep in the
Thinking.
box. Say it again. You were breaking up there. Say it again, Ches, or Shez. You're breaking up.
Sir, he means thinking outside the box, like critical thinking.
Critical thinking. Wow, that's pretty deep. Critically think about it. Jadora, what do you think? Thinking outside the box. What does thinking outside the box mean? Because this rat really had to think outside the box.
He's really thinking about what's inside the box.
He's really thinking. Do you agree with Ches and Shez about the critical thinking part of it?
Sir,
Yeah?
sir, I think thinking outside the box is like thinking deep.
Thinking deep, yeah. Cheston, what does thinking outside the box mean to you?
Sir, like he is trying to think about one thing.
So at the end of it, Cheston, really good. He started thinking, okay, maybe in order to get into this box, I need to think outside the box. So it's getting deeper into one thing, starting to it's like a laser point on what is the problem. I found the problem. After trying on so many thinking hats, or thinking in so many different ways, I have come to the conclusion that I need to do it this way. Okay. How do you guys, apart from doing homework, when you go to school, do you have like thinking about walking up to school, or even nowadays when you're studying online? How is this applicable to you? How can you apply this in your own life, basically? This story that we have here now, that you hear about the rat trying on different hats, and it's really thinking in different ways. How can you use this story in your own lives? Go ahead.
Sir, I think thinking about different methods, like thinking about different things.
Okay.
Like say you want to take a bus, but you want to take a taxi at the same time.
Okay. And you decide which one based on where you're going and which one is coming. Okay. Melverton, what did you learn from the story itself? Go ahead.
Could you repeat?
What did you learn from the story?
Hard to pick just one.
Go ahead again.
From what I learned, different hats help you solve solutions during life.
Okay. Yeah, different hats, which is thinking, will help you to find solutions for your problems in life. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm gonna go over to Jadora. Jadora, how is this story helpful to any of us? How is it helpful?
It's helpful because when I know that I'm not at school, I think I'm at school by imagining it.
Oh, that's pretty good, because that's what I do too when I'm teaching online as well. I imagine that I'm in the classroom with all my students, and I just treat them the same way, like I'm seeing the smiles and everything, and it helps us to solve problems. That's a very good one that I don't think many of us would have thought about that one. That's very good, Jador. Chesen, what can you share with the world about this story?
that you should always think positive.
That's all?
And that, no sir, and you should like think a lot of stuff until you get to the solution.
Yes, that's very good. The second one even better than the first. You think through a lot. Don't just make don't just make the decision on the first time you get it. You have to think through it. Find out if that's the best solution you found. You know, you go through it again and again, finding different ways to solve your problem. Okay, so don't just take the first solution. Go through it over and over. That's what this story is all about, guys. Very good, Tristan. And I want to ask just an overview, Ms. Villeneuve, based on this story and what we want our boys and girls to learn from this.
What's very important about this story is that you can really expand your thoughts and use a lot of creative thinking to solve problems. That every step of the way, you are using all of the smarts that you have in order to reach a decision. And you can see that he is motivated by his hats. Each of them give him a different superpower and courage and confidence in his ability to think through his problems. So what you should take away from this story is that you don't need a hat to do that. You also are capable of coming up with lots of ways to solve your problems and to think through challenges.
Yes,
It's a great story.
Good. Yeah, very good. The challenges that will come. That's the key word there. The challenges that will come, you guys need to think through them in different ways to solve them. Okay, so guys, I want to ask you a question before we leave our audience here. How are we doing in school? I want to hear from each of you. Just one sentence. How are you doing in school? Tristan, let's start with you. How is school so far? I know everybody's virtual. How is it going with you so far?
It's okay, but the one thing I don't like about it is that I cannot I'm communicating with my friends, but I can't like hug them up or something.
You can't hug them up and kiss them up. You just have to treat them with love from a distance. Yeah, Tristan, I understand you. You know, usually what we do in these times. What's that?
But you have to imagine that you're in the classroom.
Yes, and give them virtual love. You know, the virtual part of the love. Jadora, I see you're very excited over there. Well, how is it going with you so far with virtual learning?
It's okay, but I really miss my friends and my teacher. I wish I could see my teacher and my friends. I really miss them.
Yeah, I understand that part.
And I really miss school.
Yes. The building. You really miss the building. I understand, guys. Melverton, how is it going? How is it going over there in Chetwood?
It's going good.
Okay.
But I really miss school.
Oh. Yeah, you're gonna go back soon. This is not forever, okay? It's really not forever at all. Now, this is at the moment when you can put on your thinking caps. Just put them on, your thinking hats, and try to think of ways, just like what you shared a while ago, ways that you can cope, just endure it, and share virtual love, virtual hugs, you know, with everybody. Chez and Chez, how is it going, Chez and Chez?
Yeah, it's going good, but the thing that I hate most about it, sometimes when you join the class, it kicks you out and it's very frustrating.
Oh, yeah. Is the same thing for you, Chez? Same thing, oh man.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, it's the internet issues. That's what is causing the problem, the internet issues. But one of these nice, sweet days, you're gonna put on your uniforms and march down that street and just take a bus or whatever, however you get to school, and you get there and you can just enjoy a game of cricket and enjoy a game of football or even, do you guys play like bat and run out or sightings or skip jump rope, skipping? You don't do that anymore? Play video games? Oh, you do it. Okay. Melbaton does it. Thank God we have one in the house who does it. Yeah. All right, guys. I really enjoy this. Every one of you. You're very, very awesome. Please stay positive. And when all of this has passed, you will live to tell so many stories. What you should do is you can write your own stories. Write, sit down and write. Write about your experience every single day. You have these challenges. Talk about what your parents are doing. Talk about what you're doing every time you go online. Talk about what your teachers are doing. Get it in a nice little notebook and save it until the day of publishing. Okay? And I will write you a nice little forward in it. Okay? So write it, get your journal and journal everything. Write them down, and then you can publish it as a nice little story later on. And then when you guys grow up and you have kids, you can even share these stories with your kids as well. Say, I remember when I went through a pandemic. I remember, you know, because we don't have these all the time. So this is an opportune time to write some stuff down and share your stories, okay? All right, boys and girls, really love having you here. We could go on and on, but you know, as they say, we could talk until the cows come home. Enjoy your evening and stay tuned, everybody, for another virtual story time next week, same time, 7:30 Eastern time, and everything is standardized now in Jamaica, and Eastern time is the same. So it's 7:30 our time. Okay, enjoy every bit of your week, the rest of it, and just have fun. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye, sir.
Come on. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Dice. Bye, boys and girls.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye. See you.